So the French cemented their credentials as being World Cup favourites, whereas the Springboks need to go back to the drawing board. And the Springbok team that we saw last night, they were the real Springbok team. The Springbok team that went out to play, that went out to win the game. The one against Ireland was the vanilla default Springbok team. So what did the French do right in this game? Well, to me, the French, they defended very strongly. The Springboks, they played a totally different style of play. As I predicted in my preview, I predicted that the Springboks, they will play a different style of play as usual. So France, they adapted and they came in with a very strong defense against what the Springboks were offering. France, they also had a very good kicking game. That is what France do. They try to pin you in your half. They would kick long and they will then depend on you to return the kick, and then they will attack from the line out. However, we all knew how it panned out, but France, they had a very good kicking game. This current French team is also renowned for their very strong set piece, albeit from the 11th minute when the Springboks went down a man with a red card of Pieter Sef du Toit. It was a non-contest after the red card, but France, they were solid at their set piece, at their scrums they were solid, at line-out time they were solid. They were just solid overall concerning their set piece. So what did France do wrong in this game? So this was the first time in the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, that the French came up against a team with the physicality that the Springboks offered. Their bodies folded under pressure. They couldn't withstand the onslaught from the Springboks because forwards, they were going down. Many of them were replaced early in the game, and their bodies physically couldn't withhold the immense pressure, physical pressure the Springboks were putting them under. I think the French should feel a little bit concerned, having narrowly won against Australia last week and also again this week, narrowly winning the Springboks. There might be a little bit of concern in the French camp. However, they are a very good team, especially at home. They are a very solid team at home. That's why the fact that they've conquered all the top teams in France on their home soil. So now their next test to prepare them mentally for the World Cup next year, to fortify their favourite stag, they will need to win the Irish and the English away from home. So if France can beat Ireland in Dublin, that will propel them above all other teams pre-World Cup 2023. So what did the Springboks do right? Like I said earlier, the Springboks, they adapted and they brought in a different style of play. They knew that the French will kick long, and the Springboks, they didn't reply with kicking back. They took the ball up, and the Springbok makeup, having Wally Leroux, Cheslin Kolbe and Kurtley Arense as the back three, suited that style of play, because these three guys are both dynamic on attack and they are comfortable at fielding high balls because they all three of them are natural fullbacks. So the Springboks, they gained a ton of running meters, and that actually surprised the French. It surprised many of us. Well, I must say, I did predict it in my preview. The Springboks will run the ball and they will play a different style of play to what we saw against Ireland. What was also refreshing from the Springboks was the fact that they kicked all their goals. How refreshing is that the Springbok team finally in this year kicked all their goals. I think that Cheslin Kolbe kicked very well. His first kick was brilliant, the one that swung in. Then Faf de Klerk came in as well, who also kicked very well. And we had Damon Willemse having one kick at goal. I also feel that the Springbok senior players, they stood up. Guys like Siya Kolisi had a very good game. Even Etzebeth had a very good game. And I must also shout out to the new guy in the team, Kurtley Arense. I think Kurtley Arense, his physical demeanor, stature is not big or heavy, but the guy, he tackled well. Whoa, the way he tackled those French players at the ankles was just textbook. Each young player who loves rugby, wants to play the game, should use that as a tutorial. The guy, he was brilliant on defense. On attack, he was brave. He took the ball up. So this is just a shout out to Kurtley Arense. He was just magnificent, and I think if this play against the French, it solidified his position in the Springbok side. So what did the Springboks do wrong in this game? Many people post the match, they criticized the referee, Wayne Barnes. We all agree that the red card for Pieter Sef du Toit was a red card. I think no one, Springbok supporters, neutrals, no one argues with that. It was a red card. It was direct head contact against the French player, Dante. So that was a bit silly. I don't think Peter Sefton meant to do that. It was just in the moment, but World Rugby is trying to root out head contact to players. That was just one thing that the Springboks faltered on, was that moment of ill discipline that cost the Springboks the game. When Dupont got his red card and it was 14-14, the Springboks came back in the game. The Springboks took the lead. When the field was on a level playing field, the Springboks actually came back and they took the lead in this game. When the yellow card of Dion Fourie came about, we saw the Springboks went down to 13 players, France 14 players, and that is when France applied the pressure and then went on to win the game. I also feel that Damon Willemse is in his shell. What happened last week in Dublin damaged Damon Willemse, and I hope it's a temporary thing. I hope that it's not a permanent thing where the guy's international test career has been permanently damaged to what transpired against Ireland, because I feel that Willemse is in a shell now. It seems to me he's lost all confidence in his ability. I just hope that once this November tour is done, he would go back to the Stormers, play well for the Stormers, get back his confidence, and hopefully be ready for the World Cup for next year. What also went wrong for the Springboks a little bit in this game was their lineup wasn't what it should be. They lost lots of possession by the faulty line-out, but it must also be said that France competed very well with the Springbok line-out and they nabbed a lot of Springbok ball. As we all know, the Springboks also have a certain gameplay at the line-out that involved Pieter Sefton, and with Pieter Sefton leaving due to the red card, that threw the Springboks line-out in a little bit of disarray, but they had some line-out issues there. But I thoroughly enjoyed this game. It was a good game. I think France, they deserved to win. The Springboks could have won the game. However, all kudos goes to France. They won the game fair and square. They are favourites for the World Cup for next year on their home soil. And yeah, I just thoroughly enjoyed this game. So, on to Italy. Hopefully the Boks can restore some pride against Italy. So, what do you guys think? Did you guys enjoy the game? What was your positive takes from this game? What was your negative takes from this game? Do you think the referee did a good job? Do you think he didn't do a good job? So guys, let's chat in the comments. And for those who have not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll catch you guys on my next video.